How did you get your scars? I was making a paper plate mask in grade 3 and stuck a pair of scissors through the plate for eyes. Right into my other hand, stuck a pair of scissors through the plate for eyes. Oh please no, right into my other hand, thank God. I cringed after reading eyes, then let out an audible sigh of relief. When I was 15 I had keyhole surgery for appendicitis. 3 barely noticeable scars, one of which is in my belly button. Unfortunately, something was left inside me, and the morning after being discharged I woke with a fist-sized cyst on my abdomen. I had gone septic and had to have whatever was left inside of me removed via non-keyhole surgery, which left me with a neat straight line scar about 12 centimeters long. Also had to have a drain into my lower abdomen, so I've got a big ol' hole about 6 centimeters below my belly button. Unsightly as hell. My wife had to get laparoscopic hysterectomy last year. She has 3 tiny little scars just below her belly button line. Pretty amazing what the doctor did, but she was really graphic describing how she had my wife's bowel out during the procedure. Thanks, doc, I guess. Needle piercing my cheek during mother's labor. Forceps tore the ish out of my face. Flint rock on my bare foot at 3, many stitches. Face smash, concrete, chicken pox, lawnmower muffler, angry rabbit. You are probably the most interesting guy at the brat. I was 4, I was bouncing on a beach ball. My mom told me to go upstairs to bed, so I thought I could bounce up the stairs on the beach ball. I missed the first step and got stitches in my forehead. That's kid logic for yat. Severe acne, same, Accutane gang. I have a pretty noticeable scar on the right side of my neck that often gets mistaken for a really bad hickey. The story I tell everyone because I'm sick of explaining is that I was stabbed in the neck with a knife. The real story is that when I was 5, I had been scratched in my eye from one of our house cats while I was asleep. The scratch had infected lymph nodes in my neck, causing it to become extremely swollen, where it was difficult for me to even breathe. Doctors were baffled by what it was, where I spent several weeks/months in and out of the hospital. They speculated it was lymphoma at the time. I had my neck drained from the fluid from massive syringes that I still have nightmares over, and also have a paralyzing fear of needles. The scar ultimately came from me undergoing 3 separate surgeries where they removed infected lymph nodes from my neck, and late discovered I suffered from a very severe case of cat scratch fever. Yes, it's a Ted Nugent song, and yes, it also my anthem. I feel you there. I ended up in the hospital from a cat bite. The red line of doom was going up my arm, fast enough that I could watch it move. They told me in the hospital that about 10% of the population doesn't have a lot of resistance to cats' normal mouth flora, and if I'm ever bitten again, get myself to urgent care right away. My coworkers made me a cat bite mixtape. It had Cat Scratch Fever, a few covers of Same, and the Stray Cats, and a few other cat-themed bands and songs. It was funny as heck. I was mauled by a chipmunk when I was 7. LMFAO, since people wanted details, my family once went to a national park with enormous sequoia trees. While we were there, little 7-year-old me discovered a group of chipmunks. What do you call a group of chipmunks? A herd, a flock, running through the woods like some kind of wolf pack. I was running alongside them, imagining myself as the alpha of this wolf/chipmunk pack, when one suddenly broke away from the group and ran inside of a fallen log. Me, being the little kid I was, wanted to hold the adorable chipmunk, so I first tried putting my hand inside to pull it out. No luck. I only scared the chipmunk into a little dead-end hole inside of the log. So then I did something extremely intelligent. I took a stick and tried to poke it down the hole. A tiny, chubby bullet of hate and sharp claws leapt at my face. I almost lost my eye to that chipmunk, but luckily it missed and scratched me pretty deep along the right side of my face multiple times instead. I still have a scar on the corner of my eye from it. LMAO. Pro tip: don't try to corner any wild animal, if that wasn't obvious before. That's too stupid to not be true. I don't believe it, but I want to think it's true. That's a hell of a superhero origin story. I have what I lovingly refer to as Jesus scars. When I was 13, I was trying to pry something apart with a chisel and stabbed myself in the right hand by accident. When I was 23, I was using my box cutter at work to separate some boxes and cut my left hand in almost the exact same place. Can't wait to see what stupid thing I do at 33. I'd buy some thick-soled shoes. I'd start a church. I got mastitis in my breast from swimming in the ocean, and they had to cut a hole into it to drain it. They said bacteria channeled in through my nipple ducts. I didn't even know that could happen. I am a female but I've never been pregnant before, so it wasn't a breastfeeding thing. Also, doctor said the ways to prevent it are to change out of your wet bathing suit ASAP after swimming and take Epsom salt baths. And it's pronounced mastitis, not mastitis. LOL, fucking ouch. I also had no idea that could happen. Hope everything is okay now. Tape them nips to stay safe out there, kids. I can totally see Larry David getting in a world of pain just by bringing this up at a family swim. What? If they don't tape them, all sorts of stuff could get in there. In where, Larry? In the nipple ducts, they aren't closed off, you know. That's where milk comes out. I don't believe this. You gotta tape the nips. Tape the nips. Gotcha. Tuba noises. Catching a peacock. They have sharp talons. Mine's from catching a turkey when I was 10. Looks like I tried to cut my own wrist. Birds are jerks. That's awesome. I was studying these birds. I had to catch them to band them. My scar is on my leg. I have a big scar down the center of my chest and 2 little star scars right under it. I had just turned 3 and I was at my grandparents' house with my family. My older cousin was spinning me around in a swivel chair. I fell off of the chair and landed on my side, on top of my grandmother's knitting stuff that was sitting in a basket by the chair. A knitting needle went through my side and pierced my heart. My aunt thought the needle was just caught in my shirt, and ripped it out of me. I went unconscious almost immediately. By time I got to the hospital, I had lost a lot of blood and the doctors basically told my parents to prepare for the worst. Luckily, there was a badass heart surgeon there that performed emergency open heart surgery and saved my life. The star scars are from feeding tubes that were hooked up to me post-surgery. Very thankful. I have learned since posting this that my star scars are mostly likely from tubes for drainage. Thanks for the clarification, yoink. Whoa. That'll teach the ant to stop grabbing shit. It'll teach grandma to take up a less dangerous hobby, like hunting. I got shot in the face during a carjacking. Bullet went in about an inch in front of my ear, through my cheekbone, through my sinus and maxilla bone, then hit the massive bone in the roof of my mouth and stopped. The ballistic energy from the round caused it to blow about a 50-cent coin-sized hole through the roof of my mouth, and a combination of the blood pouring out and gravity caused the bullet to fall into my mouth from where it came to a stop in the bone right above it. I ended up spitting it out on the ground thinking it was a tooth. Didn't realize it was the bullet until a doctor at the hospital told me it wasn't a tooth I spit out because I didn't lose any teeth. Wish I had that bullet now though, TBH. Never expected this kind of love from everyone, thank you a ton for that, and whoever tossed me the gold, I plan on dressing up like you on Hero Day if you'll let me know what to wear. Thanks. To the now 3 people, thank you for the bling. Seriously, just imagine the dude's fucking look when you spit out the bullet he just shot you with. Haha. TBH, there was so much blood pouring out of my mouth, nose, and face, that I don't think it would have been possible to have even noticed. He also never even looked in my direction after he pulled the trigger. Mentally he was pretty much in full tunnel vision mode by that point because I think before he even shot me, he was already focused on what he was going to do next because he just assumed I was going to die instantly and he still had my friend that was in the driver's seat to worry/deal with. That's been my guess anyway. Yeah, I'd expect the dude missing a chunk of his face and bleeding all over the place to be a dead man. Keep on chugging, you bulletproof bastard. BTW, did you happen to get any reconstructive surgery? How's your facial situation if you don't mind me asking? I have a burn scar on my right arm from when I worked at Chick-fil-A and got too careless with the fry cooker. Also a surgical scar on my left thigh from age 3, when I had to get an operation fix a muscle problem. Mostly through unfiltered stupidity and youth. 1 or 2 of them from mosquito bites that I itched yaai too much. I have one from a fire ant bite. Those fuckers are evil. I fell off a pull-up bar, probably not the answer you were looking for, but oh well, LMAO. Actually these are exactly the types of answers I was looking for. I wanted to hear about people's goofy or even wild/interesting injuries. I for example fell off a bike that was too big for me on a gravel road and got a pebble stuck in my kneecap, but refused to tell my parents because I wasn't supposed to be riding that bike. I got windmilled by a panicking Shiba Inu before I could clip her nails. I've worked with perhaps dozens of pit bulls, and my one dog-related scar came from a Shiba Inu small enough to be carried with one arm. I've forgiven her, though. She's a sweetheart in her own way. Shiba Inu can be like the weird antisocial cats of the dog world, except when it's time to clip nails or have a bath.